Hello everyone, today I'm working on freight cars. I bought these five, they're intermountain cars. They all have different numbers, except for these two which are the same, which is an advantage of buying a little bit higher end cars. A lot of my cars are from Bachmann, so if I have two of them, they all have the same car number. These are a little bit messed up. Let's see which one is the worst here. This one, you see the ladder was put together completely wrong, and there's a little bit of glue on that. Thankfully I have extra parts, so they all have something to work on. There's a little bit of sprue down here with some extra parts, which is great because I'm gonna need it. It's not too much that's usable on there, but I still can use that handrail there. So we're going to examine them together. We'll have a look at what's good and what's bad. Now as I open them, I always keep this foam, I keep the box. There's the instructions. I always look just in case there's an extra part in there that I can use. And I keep this foam. This protects your engine pretty well. So this handrail is bad. Oh, look at all this extra glue. I know what to do about that. Ask me how I know. It's because I mess up too. This one probably just needs to be put back. Yeah, it just needs to be put back. That's going to be okay. So what do we got here? We have our brake detail and the brake wheel, so that's awesome news. And this side there's a grab iron that has been put on. That's okay, you don't see that too much while the car is running. The doors open and close quite a bit nicely. That's kind of cool. So okay, all the brake detail under the car. You can see this one has micro trains couplers, so that's an add-on. These, just the couplers and trucks, are worth about $5. So the little handrail that fell off, I'm gonna just put it in the box, and we'll get back to this after I look at the other ones. So this is the first 88 367. That looks pretty good actually. Just gonna pull it out gently. So this one too comes with extra glue. A lot of extra glue. Got its brake wheel, although it's crooked a little bit. It's missing a ton of handrails. Grab irons as they call them. There's grab irons that go up here. This side looks okay. It too has a micro trans coupler. And I've got a lot of extra handrails. So that's good. I'm going to use them. This is the second 88 367. All these are going to go well with my Penn Central stuff. This one, maybe he built this one last and had a better experience. I definitely need them ladders, so I don't want to lose that. So this ladder looks better. Oh, look at this extra glue. Wow. You cannot overlook that. The brake wheel's been put on correctly. That's good. Lots of extra glue on this side. You know, on that one that's missing a ladder, I'm probably going to take a ladder from the end. You don't notice them as much that they're missing. You know, if I have a ladder that's crooked and messed up, I'll take one from the end. So far, they all have the extra micro trains coupler. That is good. The micro trains couplers, they don't only look good, they work well. I don't use the magnetic feature, but if I decide to use it, it's there. I got a bunch of extra parts down here. Excellent. I always keep them with me because I will need them. So 88 to 81, let's see what kind of shape it's in. It's got the micro trains couplers, so that's good. I like that. And let's see if these doors move. Yeah, they move, no problem. So that's good. So I've got my ladders with the extra glue. No ladder here. And the brake stuff, the brake details put together correctly. And the wheel straight, so that's good news. All the brake detail underneath. And I've got an extra parts sprue. And that has ladders. It's very good because I need them, and grab irons. I definitely need this. And then the last one, 88 492. Let's see what we got. You know, I might end up gluing some of these doors. I find they have a tendency to fall out. This ladder is not bad, though it's got a lot of extra glue. Yeah, this one probably one of the last he put together because he had more experience. The brake wheel is straight. That's good. All the brake details. That saves me a lot of time. And it's also got micro trains couplers. So one thing I noticed is that there's no weight. So that's not enough for these to run right. You need a little weight. Now I work at a car dealer. So I always have wheel weights like this lying around. So what I'm gonna end up doing, I'll probably just put one in there and just be happy with that. It's not very heavy, but it's enough to make the car feel right. And I got some extra grab irons if I need them. Intermountain, they do give you extras. So keep that in mind, you know, I always keep them just in case I need them later on. Just like the wheel weights, I always keep a bunch handy. You never know. So the good news and the bad news. Good news, they all have the micro trains upgrade. Although the Intermountain trucks that they provide with, they work okay for me. And the bad news is I have a lot of ladders missing. So I'm going to be focusing on that, and I'll be adding some weight to them. Let's focus on that first ladder. There's a lot of glue on there that makes you notice that probably wasn't easy to get them on. And also, I don't think I'm better than the other guy. That's the reason why I know these techniques, is because I messed up more than once too. So I'm going to use my blade to detach these ladders. I've got two that I can use, so that's good news. So this happens to be the correct ladder that goes there. All the little pins line up with the holes. There's an up and a down for this, but this just happens to line up properly. So I use just a little bit of crazy glue to tack them down. I don't have a super good tip for you. Just have to use your time and use patience. If you want to build these Intermountain kits, you have to be into that, you know, just the minute details. I'm going to put on these two grab irons now. So I've added my ladder, the two grab irons. I put the grab irons at the end here. This brake detail should have a ladder next to it, but I'm not removing this, I'm not changing it. On the ends of the car, it doesn't bug you as much that there's detail that is wrong. So I put this back on. There's a little grab iron here too that I put on. Now I'm gonna put these little boards here. These are supposed to go, I checked, I found a photo of a similar freight car. It's supposed to go on the door like this. So I'm gonna glue them into position. I took the time to glue in my tack boards. Now I'm gonna put my weight in. I'm gonna see if I can put it towards the middle here. You want that to be as low as possible in your freight car. And we're gonna work on hiding all these glue spots. I mean, as patient as I am, I still have a little bit of it. Little things like this here. Not too proud of. How I get rid of these, on this side there's a lot. How I get rid of these is I'll just spray one coat of dull coat. Obviously, if you're gonna weather the car, you do all the weathering before the dull coat. I'm also gonna remove the wheels before I do the dull coat. So that, I'll just take my little screwdriver and just pry gently under the truck, and it will release the truck pin. I need just a little bit bigger screwdriver. So that I can release the truck pin. And then I can bring this to painting. Another trick I can give you is don't try to tackle everything the same day. I'm gonna work on these a little bit and then take a break and then work some more and then take a break, because it does get tedious. This one looks pretty good. I'm not touching it, but this one is very crooked. Probably why these didn't do well at the auction. So I'm gonna see if I can remove it and then install it properly. That ladder self-destructed on me, but I'm gonna be a little bit stubborn and I'll glue it back together. I can still use it on one of the ends. I still have one in one of the sprues, so I'll be using that one for the side. Now I've got it lined up properly. It looks pretty bad for now, but with the dull coat, it should remove from your sight all the ugly glue. So I'm going to keep putting on the missing grab irons. I'm going to keep working on these cars. I've got 4 more to do. The next thing I'm going to show on the video is just the painting the dull coat. This is another tip that I can share with you. These are strands from my weed whacker, and I will stick them where the trucks usually go. I made one of the ends, I made it shorter so it would fit in perfectly. So I just stick them in there, and that will give something solid for my helping hands to grab onto. So now I can paint this and not have to worry about it moving around or falling. Really, it's really stuck in there. And also remember to close your doors before you start painting. That way you can get the paint all over. So all this stuff here where there's too much glue, that's gonna disappear as I paint it with the dull coat. So you can see, maybe you see a little bit, but most of it looks pretty sharp. This is going to be decent, especially when it's going down the track. Penn Central and Pennsylvania is a really good railroad for me to model, because most of my fleet is that broken down, hand-me-down freight cars and engines. So the philosophy of Penn Central really works with me. Really makes a lot of sense. A little paint sure makes a big difference. So you're gonna see me reinstall my trucks. You definitely want to take your time while you're doing that. You don't want to wreck your nice freight car you spend so much time setting up. So I make sure that everything's rolling and turning properly. So that's how I do it. I put the truck pins in my trucks before I mate them to the car. And they don't have to be super tight. You got to have a little slack, but not too much. If you have too much slack, then the car gets to be too loose, and you don't want that. And then I have to go test them. So I'm gonna put my other trucks on my other cars, and then we'll run some trains. Whenever I get a new piece of equipment, I always run it throughout all my tracks just to be sure that there's no entanglement, that everything works as it's supposed to. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. I certainly had fun making it for you. And if you're watching this today, Merry Christmas to everyone. See you soon.